Talking sports with Nooner and Forrest. It is Super Bowl week. It's been a while since we've been around. It's good to be back, at least for now. It's good to be back for at least for now. Brad, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm hearing these days that you're looking for a new favorite NFL team. Um,
Oh my
uh, uh,
gosh, man.
I hear that. And
Oh,
let me ask you another question: are you tired of winning yet? Because
I'm
we were
amazed.
promised, remember, we were promised on the campaign trail that there's going to be so much winning, we might get tired of winning. But but
That's a DA statement. But anyway,
but that's what was said. But anyway, he's gonna make my DA list later on, so we'll talk about that later on. Anyway, so but
I mean,
anyway,
that what's weird, and it's weird though because if you look at Kansas City right now, let's just take a look at Kansas City, the Chiefs right now. About 5 years ago, when they were the underdogs in a lot of this stuff, full 6 years, we'll say, how whatever Patrick Mahomes, was basically first introduced in the league and everything like that. Everybody loved him. Now that they're winning so much, people are tired of them winning and they want someone else. It's the same way
yeah,
when Saban was coming through Alabama. Everybody's
yeah.
rooting against Alabama. Like, why are you rooting against
Well,
Alabama?
New England was
Uh,
the same way. I
New
mean,
England was the same way, but they had a reason to be hated, though. They gave the
but
world a
of
reason
course
to
they
hate
did.
them.
Of course they did.
I mean, it was Bill Belichick and Tom Brady for crying out loud. They
Well,
gave you all kinds of reasons for them to want to be hated.
and once upon a time, Dallas was the same way. There was other teams as well, been the same way. So yeah, I mean, you get it. Anytime a team has so much success, and you just seem like that this team it just they get all the breaks, they get everything go their way. You're always going to have you're just gonna get tired of them, and you're gonna have excuses. You're gonna blame refs. You're gonna blame this and that, the other. All the league is wanting them to get third straight Super Bowl, which is preposterous. It's just you're gonna get a lot of those conspiracy theories. So I mean, you just gotta no, you just gotta roll with it. If it Chiefs, and they have, and give them credit. I mean, they have done a very good job. They do a good job in the playoffs. That's when they seem like they peak. You kind of wonder if they just slow played the regular season a little bit, and even in the regular season, they still went 15. I mean, they had a good season this year, and they've been the best team all year long. And uh, so we'll talk about the Super Bowl. I know we will. There's another topic I want to mention to you too, Ricky. First, I know we haven't talked since the national championship game, so congratulations to Ohio State. Congratulations to Ryan Day. I will say this: that was a different Ryan Day in that playoff. That was a different Ryan Day in that national championship game. If they get this Ryan Day all season long, including the Michigan game, they should win every year against Michigan. I actually kind of like this Ryan Day. Of course, they did lose their top coordinators, their defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Chip Kelly's going to the Raiders to be the offensive coordinator for the Raiders. And then their defensive coordinator is going to be the defensive coordinator for Penn State next year. So a little bit interesting. Yeah, interesting with that. But anyway, I want to bring this up before we got to the Super Bowl because, according to reports, Nebraska is considering canceling their spring practice. And usually, Nebraska, their spring practices usually draw 70, 80,000 people. It's a money, but the reason why they're wanting to cancel spring practice is because the coaches, quote, tired of tampering, especially in the transfer portal. Do you think you'll see more teams do this? I mean, I hate it. Again, this is another thing about college football I'm going to hate because I know spring practice does not matter. I know it's a spring practice game. It's the spring practice game, I should say. Excuse me. I want to specify, not spring practice as a whole, but the spring practice game. And I know it's just a glorified scrimmage. I get that. But as a traditionalist, like I tend to be at times, um, I just think when I hear that a spring practice game is coming up, especially for these teams, I'm thinking, man, college football is almost here. It's just around the corner, just a few more months. It's kind of one of those things that kind of gets you revved up, excited about college football being on its way. So for me to see that disappearing at Nebraska, I kind of see more schools doing that as well. I just want to just get your thoughts real quick on that, and then we'll go on. But I just thought I found that very interesting from Matt Rule saying that they're probably not going to have spring practice or the spring game this year. Excuse me.
Roll would know more about the inside of stuff than what we would, obviously. Obviously, there is a concern because the transfer portal has basically completely ruined the way we know college football, the way that we love it, and everything like that. And this is why
Yeah.
many, including us, have said if this is the case, then the players need to start signing contracts, and there needs to be penalties for transferring their and all this other type of stuff. And the NCAA, instead of making that progress, they're starting to make it even more. They're making it even easier now, especially with the new junior college rule and everything like that. The only thing that I could respond to that, Brad, is if that's the case, stop televising football. Period. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, and this is the same thing that I kind of went with the sign signal stealings or whatever the case may be. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, that's a job for them to decipher signals. There's a job within the department, Ohio State included, who claims all the time. Um, there are coaches who get hired for that. And if you watch the Netflix documentary, the guy even admits there are many college football players who hire people specifically to
Oh
decipher
yeah.
signals. A lot of that is because they want to know what's coming to get ahead of their competition. So if that's the case, stop filming college football. Stop. Let's get rid of the TV deals. Let's get rid of all this because that's the tampering. It's not the fact that what coach is going to come watch your spring game just to fly out. Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna come watch your spring game. Actually, no, I'm gonna recruit your players. That's what television's for. Because anybody in their right mind can see any player at any given time. It doesn't matter what network you have now. There's a thing called ESPN Plus that you can see crappy football
Yes.
anytime that you want to and see good players. So
Go
in
Red
my
Wolves.
now I'm not calling Matt Rule dumb by any stretch of the means necessary, but
Yeah.
I want him to explain this further to help me understand why that's tampering because you have television. Anybody can watch television. Now I don't have YouTube TV. I'll get YouTube TV back whenever college football starts. But as far as cable television, whatever the case may be that you have now, streaming, don't care. Anybody can see it. Anybody can tamper with your players that way. I understand as far as like being up close and everything like that, as far as like coaching and communicating and things like that that need to be put off. I understand that part. But tell me how it's tampering because your spring football draws such a big crowd. I don't understand that because they have to have for it to be considered tampering, they have to have communication with your players during the season, which is against the rules, by the way. With coaches
Yeah.
have coaches talk to many players. All right, it's nothing. It would not surprise me one bit that Ryan Day has the starting quarterback of Penn State's phone number in his phone book just to chat up every now and then. It happens, people. We're human, all this other good stuff. But other than that, I don't understand why he considers it tampering. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, there's not really anything, and I would just said I think you were kind of talking about too. Tampering's going on nonstop. I mean, it's just the life of college football, especially with this transfer portal, and especially with money. So I agree with you with that. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is something recently happened at University of Arkansas. So, uh, Hunter Yurchek announced that next year for season ticket holders for Bud Walton Arena, you're going to have to fork up some money, apparently, to donate to the Razorback Fund for this revenue sharing. And basically, there are going to be different levels. And according to that level, you might get your season tickets or allowed it. So, for example, an example was asked to them. He was on the Chuck Barrett and Bo Manley show the other day, explained this. So, I think Bo Manley, Chuck or Bo, one of the two, asked him this. So, given this example, let's say Ricky, you gave $2,000 to the Razorbacks. Okay, so if you gave $2,000 to the Razorbacks, for example, you would be allowed 2 season tickets. According might get season tickets. You're not guaranteed the season tickets, and you get to sit at a level maybe at the nosebleed or something. You might get a seat somewhere, but you're not going to get a good seat. You're not going to get a seat to those who are donating, let's say, $40,000 or even $100,000, that sort of thing. Let me. I know and I understand, but I understand that college football, college sports, it's just it's crazy these days. But I'm not hearing a whole lot of schools doing this, and I have some thoughts on this myself. Do you? My question is, do you think that Hunter Yurchek is out of touch? Number one. Number two, is it the right decision to ask people for money when your top two um, big money driven sports is not doing too well right now? Although Arkansas does have a lead against Texas right now, but and they still got a chance to make it to the tournament. They still do, and a big win over Kentucky. Yeah. So, what's that?
They're in the next 4 out according to Jordan Lunardi.
Yeah, next 4 out, right? They still got a chance to make the tournament. SEC's tough this year, so they can still make the tournament. So my question is there your checkout touch, and is he asking something? Or let's just say, is it the smart move to ask for money right now, considering it's not going well for you and that sort of thing?
My thing is, where are you going to get it? I mean, Arkansas is not we're not considered like a rich state by any stretch of the means. We're more of one of those middle of the pack line, pack right. when it comes to money and everything like that. Brad, I don't know if it's out of touch as far as he's out of touch with it. It's more of a lack of education when it comes to the NIL and everything like that, because he's still trying to learn all of this as he's going along. Now, him as the AD, he's doing his job. He is doing the best that he possibly can to be able to gather up all this revenue and everything like that, because he's trying to tell everybody, and I'm not saying that I agree with this, or I'm not saying that I disagree with it. What I'm telling you is he's just trying to tell people, he's just trying to get as much educated to us as what possible. Because on the outside looking in, Brad, I know what my salary is. And I don't know what your salary. Well, I do know what your salary. You tell me what the church pays you.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, anybody can go online and look at my contract for the school district. That's fine. I don't care. By the means, stretch means do. Okay, it's not a whole lot, but the Lord's been good to me. All right,
He's loaded.
The Lord. I'm not loaded. Not even close to loaded. Maybe one of these days, Coach Matt will get a Division I job. Maybe I can go up with him on a Division I level or something like that. I definitely ain't loaded. Anyways, but no, but like I said, I wouldn't say out of touch. I just think it's just something that's new to him, and we are seeing a lot of players, some of the best ones, who are going to some of these higher universities because they are getting paid a lot of money. If you look at the University of Miami, they had a really great Final Four run, and a lot of their players left because they could go get better money elsewhere. It's become this normal issue, or whatever the case may be. And so I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to do his job. He's trying to do the best he possibly can to possibly be able to compete, as far as like money wise goes and everything like that. But I mean, this whole thing, it's running college sport. I'm tired of it. I'm so sick of it. It's running college sports as we know it.
So, I got some interesting statistics. I haven't looked at this, but this was statistics from a period of 2018 to 2022. So, that been updated for 2023 and on, because obviously they probably don't have those statistics yet. So, for revenue for SEC athletics, the top 3 institutions, you probably could guess, In 2018 was Texas A&M, Georgia, and Alabama. In 2022, it was Alabama, Georgia, LSU. Okay. In 2018, the bottom three institutions was Mississippi State, Missouri, and Mississippi. Ole Miss. The bottom three institutions in 2022 was Mississippi State, Mississippi, or Ole Miss, and Missouri. Okay. So that's revenue across the board. So that means Arkansas is in the middle, actually above them as far as revenue. Donor contributions. Now, here's a kicker here. So the top three institutions in 2018 was A&M, Georgia, and Florida. The bottom three was Kentucky, Arkansas, and Mississippi State. Top three institutions in 2022, Georgia, LSU.
You said Kentucky?
Kentucky was in the bottom on
Yeah,
contribution.
but their whole thing's basketball, though, so I understand that.
So the bottom three, top three in 2022 was Georgia, LSU, and Florida. The bottom three was Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Kentucky. So we're in the bottom three when it comes to contributions when it comes in 2022. Ticket sales. Now, here's an interesting.
All I can say is sucks to suck. I'm just saying, we're poor people.
So here's in ticket sales, 2018, Texas A&M, LSU, and Arkansas was top three schools.
Let's see, 2018. Remind me of that season. Was that the season we had that we went on a run that we weren't supposed to go on? No, we sucked that year. I think we sucked that year.
Yeah. So and this is cross the board athletics, guys. This is athletics as a whole. The bottom three schools was Mississippi State, Missouri, and Mississippi. 2022, top three institutions: Texas A&M, Arkansas, and LSU. Bottom three: Missouri, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. And then it has expenses. Arkansas, Alabama, Texas A&M, and Tennessee was the top three in expenses in 2018. Bottom three was Mississippi State, Missouri, and Mississippi. Top three institutions out 2022, Alabama, LSU. It goes so on and so forth. We're in the middle of the pack when it comes to football spending. We're in the middle of the pack there, it looks like. So anyway, the issue I have with Hunter Yurachek and his thing is the fact is you have Arkansas, who's definitely has invested a lot of money in basketball, obviously, but they're still outranking teams like Ole Miss, Missouri, and these teams like that, especially in football or in athletics and football, and they're still better than we are.
For the 2018 season, that makes sense because that was Chad Morris's first year.
I get that.
So Bielema leaving, Chad Moore. Oh yeah, we're all for Chad, and then it turns out he completely sucked.
Yeah.
And so we're out right now. But here's the thing, though, Brad. The last couple of years, though, then that's when we need to really look at as the statistic for these next couple of years, whenever they do come out. Because I'm wondering, because he even said Ole Miss's donors have really started picking it up. So I kind of see his point, though, is what I'm saying. I kind of see where he's coming from. But
I get that.
It's Arkansas. Yeah. We're poor people. Goodness gracious. The median average household income is what? 45? Maybe 45 for median household income?
I think it is medium for an individual.
Maybe a little higher. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is the medium. It's like 67 for the cup. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty low compared to most states. And
unless the church people want to start giving their tithes to the Arkansas Razorbacks, we're not going to be able to get that many funds in. I'm telling you.
But here's the deal, though. But what I found interesting is ticket sales were in the top three, and people buy tickets. So
understandable, but at the same time, though, it's cheaper to just buy a single game ticket than season tickets. And here, let me donate thousands of dollars on top of the season tickets that I'm having to pay for. Like there's look at I'm trying to remember what I want to say it was. I want to say it was the middle section. I think you had to have like a $5,000-$10,000 donation for each ticket that you bought on top. Like the season tickets themselves are cheap. But
Well,
as far as like the donations go, you're looking at $20,000 to get seats.
and here's the thing too. If you donate, let's say you're the lower tier donors, you're not guaranteed season tickets. You're not even guaranteed it. He said you
That's
might.
true. That's
And
true.
that's another thing too. I to me, I I just think, I don't hear of any other schools doing this per se. I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. But my point is, you know, Hunter Yurchek and Sam Pittman, I'm just referring to football, going back to football. They said once this revenue sharing starts, everything will change. It'll be an equal ball game for everybody. Well, apparently that is not coming into fruition, or you wouldn't have this right here. And the fact is, too, Sam Pittman, in one of his press conferences during the transfer portal, say, "Oh, the prices have risen for transfers this year." I'm thinking, what is it? I mean, is it going to help us, or or do we need it contribute? But I don't know. I just think, Hunter Yurchek. That's the first time I heard from Hunter Yurchek since football season, really. And I really hadn't heard much from him. That's the first time I heard from him. To me, it just seems like he's just. I mean, I get he's trying. I guess I'm going to see he's trying, but also too, there's rumors he's wanted the other AD. He wanted other AD jobs as well. So I don't know what he's doing. Be honest, but I will say this: I just think it's going to be hard for people to ask our people, especially ordinary, especially not I should say ordinary, but ask working class Arkansans. And when he went to the Little Rock Touchdown Club and was even asking for that amount of money then at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, to me that just seems so out of touch to me, because Arkansas, as Arkansans, we just don't have that kind of money. I mean, we don't have that, and I just think it's sad because it's really pushing the average fan. It's already expensive to go to a football game. It's expensive to go to a game
But
anyway.
you look at the NFL though, Brad, but the NFL is a lot different because their sponsorships are a lot different than what college is.
Of
Because
course.
you look at college across the board, there's 130 FBS teams. About half of them, maybe a little bit over half, if it just off the top of my head, I have to go and look. But there's not a whole lot. Don't take there's really not a whole lot of them that have really big stadiums like the NFL do. They and the revenue sharing with the NFL is a lot different because your player roster, they have what I think it's like 54, I think 56 on their playing roster, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. It's
How
50
about that?
something.
Yeah.
And so they don't have near the players because I think you can have 70. I think it's what you can have for college football. You can have 70 players that dress out. You can redshirt as many as you want to. I don't know what the limit is on that, but
I think it's 84 you can have on the bench, I think, to travel with you.
yeah, well, to travel with you, yes, but as far as like eligible on the roster to actually
Right.
play, it's only
Right.
70.
70. Right.
So,
Right.
or unless they've changed that, there's a possibility that they've changed that. 84, I know you can have as like on the bench goes and everything like that. So, but when you look at the whole total period, if imagine you're talking about NFL money, take the NFL money for example. I don't know what they're worth, but take it. How many teams are in the NFL? 30.
30. Yeah, I believe so.
So add 100 more teams with the revenue share that they have right now. They couldn't do it. There'd be no
No,
way
they
they could
couldn't.
do it.
No. No.
There'd be no way they could do it. That's what college football is doing right now. That's the way college football is right now. And the way it's going to possibly be is, Brad, and like you're going to have your season ticket holders, donation, whatever the case may be. But before too long, you're going to have to pay $300 a seat just to go to a college football game because these players want to get paid like they're in the NFL, and it's absolutely ridiculous. That's why I'm saying the NCAA needs to get off their rear end, and they need to figure out a way to make this work. Because if they don't figure out to make it work, like you said, the average fan is just going to bow out. They're like, "I'm done," and
Yeah.
it's going to happen. It's going to get bad. If you don't believe me, look at the NBA and how bad they've been doing.
Right. And that was
I'm
another.
bad out of the NBA years ago. I just
That's a
still keep up with it, but
right.
anyway.
Well, no, that's the thing. You're right. That's why Clay Travis. I was listening to his comments from Outkick the other day. He was talking about how he loves college football, but college football is not making a national imprint like the NFL. And NFL is as popular as ever. But the the college football is really lagging behind because I think many people, because he believes that many people views it as a minor league system for the NFL. That's pretty much what it is now. And even though, and if you look at minor league anything, it's never going to be as popular as the pro. And unless
Yeah.
the college football can separate itself from that, it's just going to remain the same. It's sad. And another thing is, too, like you said, the average fan, and I was talking about this, the average fan, it's already expensive to go to a football game already. You count that plus your parking and, oh, yeah, concession as well, because you want to get something to drink and eat something. I mean, you're going to at least fork over 150, $200 just for one single game already. So, and then you gas back home. I mean, especially for me, it's a 4 hour drive, and for you, it's about 5 hour drive for you. So, no, four,
Or
four. Okay, yeah, you go. Yeah, you got way. Yeah. Anyway, but he's still. I mean, well, 3 hour drive for me. I'm sorry. I I I thought about it now, but still, you still got to forego some gas and wear and tear. It costs. So anyway, hopefully I can figure this out. And everything and get that going. So, anyway, so that's all. A couple of things I just want to get off my chest before we got into what we were here for. So,
what we're here for. That's good. I thought the show was going to be like 30 minutes tops. And I'm like, okay, what are we going to talk about? Hey, we got to talk about everything. All right. So before we get to the Super Bowl, Pete Carroll, the new coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. That's hilarious. I ain't going to lie to you.
and he
That's
chose the Raiders
hilarious.
over the Cowboys.
Oh my gosh, the Cowboys.
Oh, you want to
Y-
mention that? Let's
Let me
mention
let,
that.
let me. This is what makes me mad about the Cowboys. It's not the fact that we have a no-name coach. You've got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But it's the fact that we fired a really good coach. Mike McCarthy's a really good coach, whether people
Yeah.
know it or not.
He did a good
We
job getting them to even finish to where they were. You gotta
exactly
give
he
him
did.
credit.
He did. He did. Um, you would think that they knew ahead of time, hey, this guy here, we should be able to get this guy no problem. And I think they flatlined and ended up having to settle, which sucked. All right. It just sucks in general that they settle point blank simple. So they're having to go back to the drawing board because I have big expectations for the Cowboys in the next 5 years, y'all. I'm just telling you right now, it's over. I'm done. I'm more of a Redskins fan right now. I'm sorry, Commanders fan. I am a Cowboys fan at the moment. My Vanderbilt Commodores did well this year. I'm looking forward to them. Hopefully that they'll surprise me next year. Um, I just, it's like my Lakers. I'll peek in and keep up with them every now and then, but I could care less. I could care less. In the NBA, as long as the Clippers lose, because I can't stand the Clippers. Um, in the NFL, as long as things are great, I really don't have a team right now in the NFL that I absolutely hate and despise or anything like that. I'm just a huge fan and I love it. And in college football, as long as Ohio State doesn't win another national championship, I'm fine. Okay, I really am. I'm fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's go. So let's go. The coaches. So Ben Johnson got the uh, Bears job. I forgot the Jaguars coach, but he's gone viral. He'll be on my DA list. But anyway, uh, Duval. What the heck is
Dude,
that?
I still can't. I'm like, you sent me this crap, and I'm like, what is this? Did he really do this?
Uh, uh,
Duval. I'm like,
yeah, no,
oh dear Lord.
I'm
And
like,
he
yeah.
looks like now I gotta look at this dude again because I think he looks a little bit like Bill Walton's illegitimate child.
Well, he's off to a good start.
Rest in
Maybe,
peace. Rest in peace, Bill Walton. Rest in peace.
yeah, he has a good chance of going 0-17 with that. But anyway, you have that. Then of course you have Pete Carroll going to the Raiders, and look like he's got himself a good staff built around him, and I think Pete Carroll
Mhm.
could do some good things at the Raiders. I think that's a pretty good hire there.
Still young, so it's gonna help.
Yeah,
The problem is the division's tougher. That's the problem.
yeah, that's
The
not the
division's
problem.
tougher because
Yep,
now because they're in the same division with Kansas City, they're in the same division as the Chargers, and they're in the same division as Denver. So you're looking
yeah,
at four really good coaches, four possibly good teams in the near future because Harbaugh's kind of figuring out Herbert and all them boys down there with the Chargers field. So unless they're planning on having all four teams go to the playoffs, you're talking about one of the toughest divisions in football coming up soon. Probably not next year, but the year after. That division is going to look very, very solid, Brad. It's going to look
yeah.
solid.
And of course, and then you have the Dallas Cowboys, and you're like, did you even watch the press conference?
I know. I haven't watched any of it. I haven't watched anything. Go back.
Oh,
You know what?
I
Hire the
there.
dude to go get that Duval dude down there in Jacksonville. That's what you need to do.
They're on my the Jones family's on my DA list for
The
the
Jones
press.
family.
Oh no, it gets better. Oh, you should hear this press conference. Yeah, that makes it even better. But my thing is, I think they wanted to sign Mike McCarthy to an extension. That's where they were heading, but they couldn't agree, and they're like, we don't really have a plan B. Deion Sanders, let me say about this right now. Deion Sanders was never a serious contender. He was never going to be a contender for the Cowboys job. I don't care what Michael Irvin said, or Michael Irvin was trying to placate. Bill Belichick. I don't think Bill Belichick wants that mess. I mean, he doesn't want that mess.
College football.
Yeah. Well, of course he's got that young girlfriend, but anyway, but he's
That's the only
more.
reason he got it is because he has a hot girlfriend. I'm just telling y'all right now.
So anyway, he's not. So Bill Belichick didn't want that mess. Pete Carroll. Yeah, Pete Carroll same way. No, I'm too old for this. I don't want this mess. That's the thing. It shows the Raiders. And
Are we that much of a dumpster fire right now, man?
so
I mean, we used to be
so
what happened to America's team? We used to be the best. What
and that's
happened?
another thing. Michael Irvin brought up a good point. He said we had a chance to make a hire, and we're going to lose a generation of fans. As a matter of fact, he said we might not be America's team after Sunday, after the Super Bowl. It might be the Kansas City Chiefs being the new America's team.
They should already be considering they're probably going to three-peat.
Yeah,
This would be what? Would this be Super Bowl number 4 or 5 for Mahomes?
four,
Would it be 4?
four.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
that's what I
he's
thought.
been to
But
5. He's been to 5. He lost
yeah,
one, too.
that Tampa Bay and the old dude Tom Brady.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got that, and then all of a sudden you hire Brian Schottenheimer, which he's got a good pedigree. His dad was a great NFL head coach. I mean, Marty Schottenheimer. But he's never been a head coach. And his dad made this statement one time. I remember his dad making this statement. He said, if a coach is not allowed to coach his team, he's never going to be successful. And that's the thing with Dallas. You got Jerry Jones, who feels like he could coach, he could be the GM, he could be everything. He wants to control everything. And until he lets go of some of that. Be the owner. You can be the owner all you want, but he doesn't need to be the GM. He doesn't need to be the coach. But here's the thing too, and he really wasn't going to get anybody to really take that situation on because you're locked in pretty much with Dak Prescott and this big contract that you wasted because you decide to sign him later on. So all of a sudden you're signing him the start of the season instead of before the season starts. And it's just been a mess ever since. And like you say, Ricky, Dallas may be okay, but they're not going to be good, and they're not going to be good for a while. And I mean, at least for 5 years. So I mean, I feel bad for Brian Schottenheimer, but at the same token, he's going to get paid a bunch of money. So that's good for him. So anyway,
We're moving on.
one more thing, real quick.
Crap.
I got a question. How do you feel about the Dallas and Lakers trade? Speaking of another trade, just speaking of more
Coming off.
nonsense.
Glasses are coming off. You just had to bring this up, didn't you?
Oh yeah, of
Couldn't wait.
course.
You couldn't wait till the next show that we do, which may be in 2 or 3 weeks or whatever basketball season
Of
ends.
course
You
not.
you you couldn't wait till Selection Sunday to ask me this, even though Selection Sunday is going to be busy. You
It's
have
your
to ask me this
Lakers.
now. No. When LeBron leaves, they may be my Lakers again. Now, I want. My gosh. Okay.
I love this.
I love the trade and I hate the trade. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why I hate the trade first, because the reason I love the trade is going to outweigh as much as I hate it. I hate the trade because Luka is a lazy piece of crap. Let's just be honest with you. He is a lazy piece of crap. Point blank, point range, simple, lazy, even for this day and age. He is an offensive minded dude with zero defensive ability whatsoever. I have never, ever seen a player with a lack of defensive mind in my entire life other than Luka Doncic. He is the definition of a defensive player. Point blank, point range. The good thing about him is with the offense, he can score on anybody. That's the good
Yeah.
thing.
He can.
Even though I still don't see how, because he has one of the slowest pull-ups I've ever seen in my life. But for whatever reason, and I know the reason, it's because the NBA don't play defense as it is, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, sure.
And so, in the short term of things, I absolutely hate this trade. I think this was the biggest joke of the NBA. I understand why Dallas wanted to get rid of him. Dallas wanted to get rid of him because the simple fact is that everything that I just mentioned, plus all this other crap that they have to put up with him with his agency and everything like that, and that it just got too much of a headache for them. When he gets cleared, he's not cleared by doctors of the NBA or anything like that. He's cleared by his agency, which is stupid in my opinion. That's why I hate the trade in general. This is why I love the trade. He's still 25 years old. He's very, very young.
He's still 25. Yeah.
Being in Lakerland is like the golden age of basketball. Whenever you are the face of a franchise, such as the Los Angeles Lakers, because he's going to be the face when LeBron retires. He still has time to pick up maturity because he's a very, very immature kid. Still is at 25. He still has time, but he has to completely reinvent everything about himself personally. He needs a better work ethic. You can bring that under LeBron James at the age of 4,000, however old he is now. You can bring that in right now with him the way that he is, and you can build him up to take over that point from when LeBron James does retire. Now, I said this 3 years ago when LeBron James came to the Los Angeles Lakers, because the way it was looking is they were going to repeat the mistake they made with Kobe Bryant. Because you and I both know how I felt about Kobe. He was, to me, on Mount Rushmore, he's my number 2 next to Michael Jordan. It will never ever be. You can never ever convince me otherwise. You can make arguments and everything like that, but the way that he was brought up in Lakerland is nothing like you would ever see in your entire life. But Luka Doncic would not have gotten along with Kobe Bryant. Let's just put it that way. It would not have worked because Kobe's work ethic was second to none. If you can bring him up through that, he will be fine. However, they made a huge mistake with Kobe Bryant, and a lot of the reasons was, and I understood, you understand the business. He's the money market. He's the guy. They didn't surround him with anybody. When Lamar Odom went on crack and ended up getting traded to Dallas, that's funny. That we just bring that up. Pau Gasol got it. Pau Gasol got old.
Apparently he's reappeared with Khloe Kardashian on the Keep Up with Kardashian.
I don't care. I don't care. Will you stop this nonsense, please? We do not talk about the Kardashians on this show. I'm gonna put you on mute into the show. For you, Lamar, I really have. Anyways, but if you remember correctly, Brad, they did not surround him very well with talent. Toward the end of his career, though, they started getting players like Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Clarkson when they were very, very young, but it was nothing of what they needed to actually build a franchise around him. Now you have a young player in Luka Doncic who can be under LeBron, which I think he's going to retire after this season. I could be wrong. He could play one more year. He's overstayed his
He
welcome
said he
long
could
enough
play
as it
6
is.
or 7 more years. He said on the
He's
video.
not. He ain't playing 6 or 7 more years. Lord, I hope not. I'm so sick of it. It's not even funny.
He's got to get his
You have
son.
you have this generation of kids who actually believes he's the greatest player to ever play, and they've never even seen Michael Jordan play. Anyways, so when I looked at this, I applaud the Lakers because they finally did something they needed to do. And they probably should have done this last year, but that's okay because when they had a losing season last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now they're actually doing pretty well this year because they have a pretty good core. So they're actually doing what they need to do. They've got a decent present. Now they've got their future. And if Luka Doncic can have a maturity, if he can build his maturity, bring his work ethic, he needs to lose a lot of weight, he needs to get fit, and keep this same core around him, minus LeBron James, the Lakers' future is very, very bright. Now, if Luka, like I said, though, that's the good part, and it outweighs the bad part. But then you have this one part. It's all on Luka Doncic to make it better. And if he doesn't make it better, the Lakers are screwed as we know it. And they're going to be operated just like the Dallas Cowboys are. And they're going to be a pariah to me like the Dallas Cowboys are now.
It can I agree with you. It could be a win-win for both Dallas and
It could be. I think it's a
Los Angeles.
lose-lose. I think it's a win-lose for the Lakers. Or I'm sorry, a win-lose for the Lakers. I think it's a lose-lose for Dallas.
You think so?
Yes,
Well,
because as skilled as Anthony Davis is, he's not very consistent. He's consistent when he. I got to put it this way: he's not consistent when he needs to be consistent. If that makes sense.
well, maybe new surroundings. Maybe Kyrie Irving can kind of carry it a little bit. I don't know.
No.
Anyway,
Done. The Dallas Mavericks are done this year.
Well, here's the thing that's concerning about Luka. You brought up Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant. Remember, they made a trade mid-season one year and got Pau Gasol, and Pau Gasol. Yeah, Pau Gasol was young, but I think the difference is you had a guy with Kobe Bryant that was really into working and making sure to push Powell to the limit. He pushed Powell, and Powell admits that. Luka don't have that with LeBron. LeBron's not going to do that, and that's the problem. That's the problem right there. And it'll be the same situation as it was in Dallas because same thing. He did not have anybody to push him at Dallas. And even when the team told him how they wanted him to rehab and that sort of thing from his injury, no, he just ignored it. They say he ballooned to 270 pounds. 270 pounds.
That's more than I weigh.
That's more than I weigh by 10 pounds. So my point is,
I wish they'd pay me the money that they're making him. That's for sure. I'd take it.
Exactly. So my point is, I just don't see it working out for the Lakers unless, like you say, it has to be on Luka because LeBron's not going to do nothing for him. LeBron's not going to do nothing for him. It's got to be on Luka. He's got to start disciplining himself. And with this as well, Luka lost a lot of money. He's no longer eligible for the max deal anymore because he got traded. And the fact is, the Lakers are going to be able to get him for a cheaper price during the offseason. So that's a good thing as well for the Lakers. But if Luka would have stayed disciplined and would have kept, had a better work ethic, he would have been more of a millionaire than he's actually going to be at the end of all this. So I think it could be a win-win. I think it is still a win-win for Dallas. I think Dallas still has enough pieces to make a run to playoffs. I don't think Dallas is going to be like so far off that they're not going to do anything. And plus, they got a piece with Anthony Davis that they could trade away next year and get draft picks or do whatever with that. So it's not like they have to keep. Yeah, it's not like they have to keep Anthony Davis for next season or so. They could trade him off and pick up some. But you don't want Luka to become like a Joe Embiid. Let me give you a Joe Embiid statistic. He's played 436 games. He has missed a total of 400 games. and he has made during his NBA career over $700 million. I wish
Welcome
I
to
could
the
do
new
that for
NBA,
work.
and this is why the NBA is the way it is. This is why it's a joke. This is why they're losing ratings. It's not because
Yeah.
they're 3-point shot. It's
You
because
imagine
there's no art. These players say, "Oh, we're underpaid." No, they're not, and they don't want to play 82 games a year like the job calls for.
you imagine if we did that in our daily jobs, we'd be fired.
Yeah, we wouldn't have a job.
We would have a
We
job.
wouldn't have a job. We would
So
not have a job. It'd be like if the coach comes up to him like, you know what? I only want to coach 40 of the 82 games. I'm gonna let my assistant coach the rest of it.
yeah, I need
That's great. Let's
rest. I need rest.
load
Oh
management. My
man,
back is
I
killing
do.
me. My back's killing me from sitting in this.
My voice is sore from all the yelling.
Hey, listen, man. I can attest to that. Golly, that my
Well,
voice
you
has gone
gotta
out
watch
there.
that load management then, especially after that Monday game.
I guess so. I guess so. I guess 18 games is not enough. This will be my 18th game tomorrow night with this bunch. 36 if you count with the seventh grade, or 35 with the seventh grade. Seventh grade only plays 17 games. And yet my voice is.
He
No,
load management.
I'm having a blast this year.
Good.
This has been a great blast. Okay, we're getting to the Super Bowl. Screw everything else right now. We are getting to the Super Bowl. So let's get to the Super Bowl. This is why we are here. Super Bowl Sunday is here. Big the biggest event of my life next to WrestleMania weekend. Even though my brother, I'm probably going to put him on the DA list this week. I'm just going to put him on the DA list. I love you, brother, but I'm putting you on the DA list, and you'll find out why. But first, the Super Bowl. Kansas City, Philadelphia. Brad, who do you got?
That's tough because I do like Saquon Barkley. He has done very well. I think the Chiefs does get the three-peat. I think they're going to get the three-peat. I think it'll be a close game like it was the previous Super Bowl rematch because this is a Super Bowl rematch from a couple years ago as well. It's
It
kind of
was.
it's kind of ironic a little bit because last year they had a Super Bowl rematch with uh oh my god, I can't even think, the 49ers, which was a couple years before, and now they're having another Super Bowl rematch with another team they have played. I think this team is just hungry to get it done, to get this three-peat and become the first team ever to do that. Andy Reid already said that he's going to at least coach one more year, at least. I'm wondering if he gets the three-peat, if he will keep that promise, because if I got the three-peat and I was Andy Reid, I mean, I could say I am the only coach to ever win three straight Super Bowls. If I was retired, I mean, but that's just me. But again, Andy Reid loves coaching. You can tell he still loves it, and he loves his team. I think the Chiefs gets it done. I think they win by a field goal. It's going to be a very close game, very good game. Uh, I guess the question I have for you: do you think Taylor Swift's going to perform with Kendrick Lamar?
Don't care, Brad. You know that. I could care less what they do with Lamar or whoever the case may be, as far as like who's gonna do what. I really do not care. All right. So, anyways, let's get back to this. The biggest difference between the Philadelphia Eagles this year and the Philadelphia Eagles, what was that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
I think so. Yes.
Something like that. It was one of the last time they actually went, because I think, yeah, because Jalen Hurts was the quarterback. I think it was the second year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Second
want to
year.
say, yeah, his second year in the league. Yeah, it was the second year in the league. And so, um, when you look at the biggest difference is Saquon Barkley. He is a much better. I'm trying to remember who the running back was they had. Who was the running back they had? He was really, really good. Um,
Uh,
I'm trying to remember, but either way, the biggest difference is they have more of a balance with Saquon Barkley than they do with Jalen Hurts. They have a lot more. They have, to me, their offense is a little bit balanced. There's a reason why they're the number one offense in the NFL. Like, and it's not even close. Like, they are the number one offense in the NFL. If you look at or I say the number one offense in the NFL, they're one of the top offenses. They're not the number one offense. I'm sorry. Number one offense is Baltimore. They got that. But if you look at the Eagles, I think they were 8th or 9th in total yards. If you look at passing, they're not the very best when it comes to passing, but when it comes to rushing yards, they're second when it comes to rushing yards. They were second in the league next to Baltimore when it came to rushing yards. Now,
Oh,
let's go.
sorry to interrupt just real quick though. Their
Go
running
ahead.
back that year was Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders is the one you're talking about. I think Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Trey Sermon. That was their running backs for the 2022 year when they went to the Super Bowl last time.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, so when I look at this, when I look at all this, and you even look at their defense, their Philadelphia's defense is very well underrated. They have the #1 pass defense in the NFL. They only average 174 yards per game when it comes to passing, which is the best in the NFL. Kansas City, on the other hand, Patrick Mahomes has not been that great this year when it comes to when it comes to passing the ball. Anyway, so with that being said, I'm going to agree with you because here's the reason why. Take the statistics out. There's something about championship DNA. And when you have championship DNA across the board on your football team, you look at the odds that have been stacked against them the entire year, whether it's good teams, whether it was bad teams, whatever the case may be, because they played close the entire year. Their defense was very, very good, and their defense got stopped when they needed it the most. And yeah, they got stops when they needed it the most. They were 4th in the league when it come to defensive as far as like giving up points per game. They were 4th. Philly was 2nd, but I thought Kansas City had a much tougher schedule, in my opinion, than what Philly did this year. That's just my opinion. And I just like I said, Kansas City's rushing defense is still on up there. I think it's up in the top 8, top 9, something right around there as far as like rushing yards that they gave up per game. Philly's on the other hand, Philadelphia's isn't much behind, but there's just something about championship DNA, Brad. You cannot argue championship DNA for whatever the case may be. And I know a lot of people are rooting for Philadelphia because they're tired of Kansas City winning. I'm one of those like you. I want to see history being made because this may
Yeah.
be something we never see again. The last
Yeah.
time we saw a team that did this was the Buffalo Bills, but they lost 4 in a row. So I'm just saying, it just, but
Yeah.
I mean,
That's still an
that's the thing.
accomplishment, but yeah, it's a bad accomplishment to lose.
And that's the thing. Playoff time comes around, you have a totally different ball club here. Even though the statistics say Philly, I'm gonna take Kansas City.
Yeah, I was going to say this too. A key acquisition that the Chiefs made this year is actually getting Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
He as a running back, and he's been very good for the playoffs and been very good for the Chiefs, especially towards the end of the year. So that can also be a difference maker too. So it's actually taking the pressure a little bit off of Patrick Mahomes, especially towards the end of the year, and with Pachinko and Kareem Hunt as well. I mean, it's yeah, the Patrick, but the Chiefs doesn't have to rely on Patrick Mahomes as much. Patrick Mahomes still has to be Patrick Mahomes. Don't get me wrong; he's going to still have to make some plays. But when you got a running game like with Kareem Hunt and Pachinko behind you, yeah, the Chiefs are in good shape to get their 3rd straight Super Bowl. So I do think they get it, and I think it'll be a very close game and a very good game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So on top of that, I don't know if I've told you this yet, but I tell you, I'm gonna be the voice of soccer this year at Whitehall.
You did tell me. You tell me that.
Gonna be beautiful. I can't wait for soccer season. Tell you the truth,
Olay.
I want basketball season. Your boys, Greene County Tech, are hosting the 5A state tournament. I am hoping we make it. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
Yeah.
really, really tough. Right now, us, Lake Hamilton, Lakeside, Sheridan looks like it's gonna be vying for those last 2 spots. So it's gonna be tough.
Nice.
So
Y'all win at Lakeside?
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
We were down 16 at the half. We cut the lead to 4 in the 4th quarter, and then we just ran out of gas. So yeah, part of it. Part of it, we're just gonna. We knew it was gonna be tough. We played much better than we did against El Dorado the other day. That was for sure. Goodness gracious, we played horrible against El Dorado. We're not even gonna mention that. But anyway,
Yeah, I
Anyway,
was gonna say my friend Blake, Lakeside. Speaking of him, he got the 2 seed in their junior high tournament, but they're gonna lose to Hot Springs, I believe, in that
that
area.
Springs has a freshman dude who's
Yeah, they're pretty
probably
good.
who's probably one of the best freshmen in the state right now. But
Yeah, yeah,
he's really good. I saw
yeah,
him the other day. As a matter of fact, some of the Hot Springs players, because Hot Springs is off Friday night, they were at Lakeside, and one of the coaches, I can't remember who it was, one of our coaches pointed this kid out. He's like, "Hey, this kid here's a freshman, and he's already ducking like it's nobody's bit. Like he is a flat out good player, from my understanding. So yeah, we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see this.
yeah.
I'm
So
I'm rooting for your boy though. Hopefully he'll pull it off.
shout shout out to Blake Ward if he's listening to the show. No, he's like I say, I graduated with him at Paragould. He's done a good job at Lakeside. He also assists with the high school team as well. So shout out to him, and hopefully keep it competitive. Let's put it that way. I know
At
but
least keep
knowing
it
Blake,
competitive. Yeah,
yeah, knowing Blake wants to win this game, but I just don't think
man.
he'll get it done.
It,
So
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
yeah.
All right, brother. Let's get to DAs of the week.
Oh God. So
I only have one, and that's my little brother. But I'll let you go ahead.
I got a few of them. So my first day of the week goes to like I say, we don't discriminate on the show. We go after all political parties. So my first day of the week goes to Donald Trump. He had a press conference with the Israeli Prime Minister yesterday, and said that we're going to bulldoze the Gaza Strip, and the USA will take control of it. Close quote. Why do we want to take control of the Gaza Strip?
It's like
What? Why would we want to get ourselves involved with that? I mean, come on, man. I mean, I know you got your hair, dude, your fluffy hair, and you're doing a lot of winning, but this is not a winning strategy.
we're going to make Gaza great.
And you know what? Here's the crazy part. Yeah, there's MAGA for you, make or MG. That's not anyway. But here's the crazy part.
Make Gaza great again.
Make Gaza great again. MGGA. Yeah, anyway, Rand Paul, the senator out of Kentucky, said, "I thought we voted for make America first, not Gaza." So I don't know what he's thinking here with Gaza. I don't want anything near Gaza. I don't want to be anywhere near Gaza. Just let them handle it. Get out. Don't mention Gaza ever again. So my first day of the week, like I say, we don't discriminate, is Donald J. Trump. President Donald J.
I
Trump.
absolutely. We're gonna make Gaza great again. Did y'all realize the Palestinians they flourished in the Bible days? Did y'all remember that? And what happened? Oh yeah, God wiped them out. There you go.
It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be great. We're gonna make Gaza beautiful. We're gonna make all these yeah.
In there. Oh gosh, I love it. Gaza Strip. Oh my gosh. Why in the world? That's like saying I want to make Iraq great again. Iraq's never been great. Why would you want to be in Iraq? There's nothing in Iraq.
Yeah, I know it. I'm like,
All right.
what?
Continue, sir.
My second day of the week goes to Liam Cohen. That's the head coach for the Jaguars. That's the new head coach for his Saint Duval. If you want to make yourself stupid, just watch this clip of this guy here. That's a good way to make yourself look stupid. So yeah, that's my second day of the week. My third day of the week goes to the mayor of Philadelphia, and here's the reason why. Apparently, she cannot spell Eagles. How do you spell Eagles, Ricky? Well, she spells it apparently Egles. That's how she spelled Eagles during a press conference outside Philadelphia.
How are you the mayor of Philadelphia?
Exactly.
Hey, can she spell Philadelphia? That's the thing I want to know. Can you spell Philadelphia? Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, apparently
Oh, Lord.
Eagles is spelled Egles according to her.
Eagle.
That's my third DA of the week. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and with your DA, and I got a couple more.
So my little brother Patrick is getting married in April, Brad. I'm happy. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him and his future fiance or his future wife Kaylee. And of course her daughter Genesis. She does have a daughter named Genesis. But he's on my DA list of the week because his wedding It's on freaking WrestleMania weekend. Why would you get married and do this to me on WrestleMania weekend, man? It's WrestleMania. It's my Super Bowl, man. Are you serious?
I love it.
Right.
Uh, my
So,
my
while the wedding reception is going on one, I'm gonna have my phone on the other hand while WrestleMania is going on. The Undertaker's going to come out and do something. It's John Cena's final WrestleMania, man. Come on.
so my next DA of the week goes to the Massachusetts or the UMass versus Fordham game. Get this. So the game goes to 3 overtimes. Fordham is fouled on a half court shot heave during the first overtime. 79 fouls is committed during this game. 9 players fouls out during this game. That's an NCAA record, by the way. And also the teams combined for a whopping 122 free throws. You know what I was thinking, Ricky? That had to be the most boring game ever. They got the 3 overtimes. And by the way, both teams stinks. That's my other DA. I know I have one more. Yeah, umpire Hoberg, Pat Hoberg. Uh, he's a new DA Hall of Famer. He was caught sharing a sports gambling account with another person, and we know that the number one rule, of course, in baseball is not to bet on baseball, which he was not proven that he bet on baseball games, but to have yourself associated with a sports gambler, plus being one of the best umpires in the game, plus also, yeah, now knowing that the number one rule in baseball is not to bet on baseball for sure, that's a sure way to get you fired. So congratulations, Pat Holberg.
You name it to the Pink Rose rule. They want to induct him into the Hall of Fame. At least name a rule after him.
Exactly. So that's my four. And finally, my last DA goes to, and you can pull it up here real quick because there's definitely something in the water in Paragould, especially Paragould School District. I don't know what the heck's going on. It goes to, yeah, it goes to this guy here. Last name is, trying to look here. Oh my goodness. Last name is Egger. Egger. So Edgar is a special education teacher at Baldwin Elementary. He is pulled Kingston Egger. I'm sorry, Kingston Egger, and his Black Yukon. This is 12:30 p.m. This is what even in the midnight. 12:30 p.m. He gets pulled over at the Burger King parking lot, and he is intoxicated. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say about these Paragould teachers and ministers people. I mean, get your head out of your rear. Actually, no, if you're drunk, get a designated driver, get somebody else, get an Uber, whatever you have to do, because we know good and well if you're going to be drunk driving and you get pulled over, your face and your name is going to be plastered everywhere in the news, especially being a school teacher. It's not a good look. Hasn't been a good look. He's on administrative leave as we speak. So that's my final DA.
Well, then, what an eventful time for DAs of the week. And just like you always say, as long as the human race is in existence,
There will always be DAs.
there will always be DAs. All right. So before we hop off here, I want to shout out John Mayberry and the Williams Baptist Lady Eagles. They are now on a
Yeah.
13-game winning streak. They are 14-1 in conference, which is so first place now. They are 18-3 overall. The last time the NAIA polls came out, they were getting votes to get in to the top 25, which is a first ever since they joined the NAIA. So shout out to that. I think the new one. Let me look at this. I think the new one comes out tomorrow. Let me look here and see. I think they go every 2 weeks. Where's the rankings at? Let me find it. I'll find it here in a minute. But yes, I think they come out tomorrow. Let's see here. Top 25 play. Let's see here. Top 25. I'll have to look at it and see. Here we go. Polls and rankings right here. Oh, let's see when the next one comes out. Yeah, no, next next Wednesday. I'm sorry, next Wednesday, February the 12th. The next one will come out. So there is a possibility that you will see for the first time ever that Williams will be in the top 25 ever. They were getting, let's see, the last one, they were only getting 3 votes to get in. Columbia, who was the previous number one, was getting 32. So it's like I said, it's definitely a we'll see what they do. But like I said, we'll see what they do. But I think you will see history being made once again with the NAI with the Lady Eagles of Williams Baptist, and that's the only thing I really keep up with right now because, like I've said before, I could care less if I ever step foot on that campus again. But I would go watch the Lady Eagles play if I could.
Well, shout out to John Mayberry, that's for sure. Also, shout out to Arkansas. Looks like they're going to get another win. They're about to beat Texas. They're up by eight
Good.
points, but 15 seconds left. So shout
Oh,
out to the Razorbacks.
I
Uh,
almost forgot. Speaking of John Mayberry, I keep forgetting about this. Tommy Wells is going to be a dad. Shout out to that.
I shout out to that. Yeah, shout out to Tommy
Tommy
Wells.
Wells is
He's
going
going
to
to
be
be
a
a
dad.
yep. Now principal Tommy Wells. So he's a principal up in
I think he's in Missouri, isn't he?
yeah, he's up in Missouri. Yep. So shout out to him for that. Also, I would say shout out also. Like I said, shout out to the Razorbacks for their about to be their second straight win. So shout out to the Razorbacks for that. Yeah, I mean, a lot going on right now. Lots happening, and this is a good time. Football season's almost over, Ricky. I know that's a kind of a sad time for us, but we'll go into basketball, especially March Madness, and then baseball season will be on its way as well. So I'll be doing some umping pretty soon as well. So
Next, Wichita Shockers, they're not doing very well right now. They had a very good record until they got to conference. Now it's just going.
well, we know this as well. We watched them last year against Memphis. They got a young team, and
Still young.
it's gonna take some rebuilding. But yeah, I mean that they got potential to be good, and we saw that last year against Memphis. So
They
it's
did.
just gonna take some time. Um, Shout out to ASU. Speaking of first place teams,
No,
ASU
no,
being
no, no, no. We can't. No, no, no. We're not giving a shout out to ASU because they lost to Marshall.
okay. Oh, sorry. Well, you know,
No, well, they Marshall, but I still think I'm still hoping that they get that NCAA bid. I hope they win the
well they'll
Sun Belt
probably
to
have to
get
win
that
the
bid.
Sun Belt. Yeah, they'll probably have to win the
Oh, they'll
Sun Belt
have
now.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll have to. Yeah,
yeah, they'll have to
there's
win.
no there's
Yeah, they'll have
yeah.
to win the Sun Belt. But I mean, again, that ASU team is really good.
They are
Um,
really good. They are really
yeah,
good.
so
We may have to take a trip to Jonesboro for too long.
yeah, that'd be a nice trip. Or if they play Euler at UALR, that'd be good.
They don't play ULR for conference. ULR is not the
Oh,
conference
that's
anymore.
right. I forgot. They're Atlantic Sun now. What the heck is that? What the heck is
Man,
that?
well, I think the biggest thing, Brad, is that the Sun Belt I think wanted to be like as far as like
Football,
all the
yeah.
sports across because they have football, and I think because ULR didn't have football, and from my understanding they were supposed to get it, but I think COVID paused that. So
Yeah, that
so yeah,
they were supposed to get it.
we'll see if we'll see if they'll be able to get it. But yeah, let me see. Actually, the Atlantic Sun right now. No, the Atlantic Sun. That's where UCA is.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's right. I
the
can't.
the what
OVC,
the
OVC.
Ohio Valley Conference. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
I'm
one
sorry.
that's the one that they're in right now. And right now, ULR is third in the conference right now. It's a very competitive conference.
Well,
They're third.
also another job to keep an eye on. Is speaking of jobs in college basketball, is North Carolina. Hubert
It's
Davis could be in very big trouble, especially losing to Duke the way he did. That was embarrassing.
definitely embarrassing. Yeah, we'll have to look at the calendar. Let's see here. 2/12 is on a Wednesday. We could always go up on 2/15 and not have Valentine's Day till Friday.
Yeah.
That'd be great. The 22nd of February they play Monroe at 2 o'clock. That's probably the only game I would get to go to if we got to go up there.
It's at Jonesboro,
It,
Monroe.
yeah, it's in Hillsborough. It's their lifetime game.
Oh, that might work.
Might be able to pull that off. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see
that
if we
might
can pull it.
work.
I think I've Shelby that weekend too. She loves going to ball games.
I could take Paisley with me that game.
And I say
Paisley, I go basketball.
I said we could meet up somewhere and then
Yeah.
just drive to Jonesboro's not that far.
Let's try to make that happen. I think Paisley would like to go to see her mom's about to be alma mater times two, where she gets her master's degree. So
Nothing. I have nothing marked down for that day, so we'll definitely
yeah,
try to do that. So yeah, we'll have to. I'm gonna put that. We'll have to put that on the calendar and see about doing that. But
uh-huh.
all right, Bubba. I've got
All right.
nothing else. I am exhausted. So the schedule coming. So for those of y'all who listen to us quite a bit, I know my students like to listen to us quite a bit. As a matter of fact, they pulled up an older episode today. Uh,
Well, you know, it's
yeah.
wonderful.
And so they're like, "Hey, Mr. Nooner, listen to this." No, I have to speak this. Why would I want to listen to myself? Anyways,
I
um,
can't. Here's the crazy part. I cannot even listen to myself preach.
same way.
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
can't.
do
I
it.
can't do it.
But anyway, so yeah, anyway, so we will definitely have a show post Super Bowl whenever that case may be, and we are 5 weeks away from this coming Sunday. We are 5 weeks away from Selection Sunday. Selection Sunday will be on March 16th this year. Um, so we will definitely be on the lookout for that.
Well, the
Uh,
score did go final. Arkansas did win by 8 over Texas, so another
and
big
it's on the
win.
and it's on the road, so and Texas isn't bad. So
No, Texas is a
not
good team.
that's a good win.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll take a good win at any time. And so, all right, well, Brad, until next time, I'm getting off here. We're gonna sign off here. If you are a regular or want to be a regular on our show, hit that like button and subscribe on YouTube. We will post episodes whenever we whenever we actually get a chance to do them. And it's just a very busy time of the year. But
It is.
until then, good night, everybody. And
Uh,
is there any holidays coming up? Oh, Happy President's Day!
uh,
Happy President's Day in 2 weeks.
oh, and Valentine's
That
Day
that,
to all the.
that nobody cares about. I no. When's
I must
Valentine's Day?
say, you better
When's
say you
Valentine's Day?
care.
No. I hate Valentine's Day. You ask my wife; she'll tell you I hate Valentine's Day.
But you did buy her something, right?
Not yet.
Oh Lord.
I'm a terrible husband, y'all. I am a terrible husband. All right, all right. We're getting off here before I get in trouble.
Bye, Rick.
Anyways, good night, everybody.
Good night.